Hello everyone and welcome back to Winter 89 Colors. My name is Melissa and I am here today to do something a bit, I guess it's not that different, but I am going to, for reasons that I cannot yet fully explain, do an inventory on my bookshelves. Actually, that's not true. I know why I want to do it. I want to do it because I'm starting to lose track of what books I have and whether they're all in my computerized tracker or not and how many pages I have done in them. So I thought I would do it on screen with you as kind of a way of also doing another full book collection. So if you hear any muttering or weird noises or cursing in the background, that would be Mr. Winter, who is sitting a few feet away from me attempting to put back together a toy car that he just ripped apart. So with that in mind, let us move forward. So the first shelf that I'm going to do as an experiment to see if this even works is going to be my mini shelf. So I have printed out this tracking sheet and it's got, I'm going to number the book, put the name, the author, the type of book, so that's like hardback, softback, etc. The number of pages, how many whips, and how many completed pages I have in it. So I do have a computerized version of this, which is more complicated, but I thought that for the sake of A, doing it on camera, this would be a bit easier, and B, I find that writing things down and visualizing them in this way is a little bit easier for me as well, as opposed to having to flip back and forth to the computerized version. So I will, after we've done all this, input it into my computerized version, and then I will be all set to go. So let's start with the mini shelf, as I call it. And there's not a whole ton in here, as you can see. They are all hand-sized, pocket-sized little books. And yeah, I don't have a ton of pocket-sized. I'm not sure why, but it just hasn't worked out that way. I guess there aren't that many out there that interest me in the same way as I would expect. So let's start with the first one on the top of the pile, and that is Feels Good with Colors, which is a coloring book for relaxation by Graby, and it's given to you, Graby. It's given to you when you buy their alcohol markers, and it's supposed to be on their fancy alcohol marker paper, which does not bleed. So I did put that to the test, so I did finish one in here, and I know that for a fact. So let's do that first. So I guess I can zoom in because these minis are obviously mini. So I guess Graby is the author, because yeah, it doesn't really say anything other than Graby. So does it say on here how many pages there are? No, I'm gonna have to count them. Okay, so let's count. I will speed this up obviously in post. Okay, so there are 43 pages, and obviously this is going to be number 1. The name of it is Feel Good with Colors, and the type, I'm going to call it a postcard, because it kind of is. Like, these pages are designed to come out. So there's that. I have no whips in it, but I do have one completed. Where did it go? There it is. So I finished this one when I first got it. The colors look significantly different than I remember. As you can see, Graby alcohol markers do yellow quite badly, so bear that in mind, and I'm hoping that they work on that. But as you can see, it didn't bleed through at all. It shadowed, but it didn't bleed, so that's pretty cool. The paper is great. I'd love to see some of that paper in our coloring books, but anyway. Yeah, so I just did this little tree, just tried out. It was not this red. I remember this was much more brown. So the colors changed a lot, having been sitting here for about 6 months. So the grabby alcohol markers continually disappoint me. I'm sorry to say grabby, but you need to work on your alcohol markers. So anyways, we have one completed in there. So that's how this is going to go. All right, so let's move on to my Joanna Basford books. I have a few of these guys. So the first one is my 36 postcards in Lost Ocean. All right, 36 postcards. Okay, cool. I love when I don't have to actually count them. It says them on the page. And I know that I have 0 whips and I have 0 completed. So this is untouched. And that is for very good reason, because this is so detailed. It is so tiny that I don't even know if fine liners will fit in here. Like, it is. Look at this. Look at how tiny it is. Look at how tiny it is compared to my finger. Like, this is a 0.5 millimeter nib. That would not even fit in there. That's so crazy tiny. But they're pretty. And they're actual postcards, as you can see. So I think it's more of a collector's item than anything else. I don't know if I will ever color in these, but they are technically part of the collection. So there we go. So the next 3 are all Joanna Basford. There we go. So the next one is, let's do the Mini Enchanted Forest. And I've had this one for a little while, and I've done a few in it. Does it say how many are in here? No. Okay. So I'm going to count, and I'll be back with you. Okay, so in here we've got 95 colorable pages. Now I do include double page spreads as a single. So I do not count them as 2 pages, I count them as 1, because I'm never going to do just 1/2 if I want to do it. I mean, obviously, unless it's a forever whip, but like, I'm never going to just do 1/2 of it, so I always count it as 1. So this is the Mini Enchanted Forest by Joanna Basford, and this is, I'm going to say, a soft mini. And I definitely have some things going on in here. So this, I guess you can consider this finished. So that's what I need. I need to have a scrap piece for counting. That's what I need. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so this is just scrap paper for counting things like completed pages to make sure that I'm not losing my place. So we've got 1 completed, 2 completed, 3 completed. So this one was done with just fine liners, as you can see. And then we've got, this one was done, I think, mostly with Crayola pencils. Fine liners in the center, mostly just Crayola pencils for the outside. That's why it doesn't look super duper. And then I've got some Pitt pens down here for this water. I did this at work one time, my old work, and I didn't put a whole ton of effort into it. It was just something to keep my mind busy. This, I experimented with a whole bunch of different pens and pencils and like gel pens and markers and fine liners and all kinds of stuff. So it is awful as far as color palette goes, but it was an experiment, and I mean, we learn from it, right? So that's 3. Oh, then I did this one. This was done in pencil as well. I think Crayolas, if I'm not mistaken. This is a whip. As you can see, also in pencil. The illustrations in this book are just big enough that I can mostly use pencil or fine liners in it. If it was any smaller, it would be really difficult. But let's see, what else have we got in here? Don't think a whole ton. So this could technically be colored, but it's probably going to be a forever whip, but I'll name it as a whip. Finished this one, and I actually quite like it. I think it's really cute. Got some glittery gel pens in there. I think I did it with Prismacolors. Yeah. This is, I guess, technically a whip. I think I tried to erase it. I think it was pencil at one point. Let me see if I can erase it more. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to count it as a whip because it's just really light green. There's a whip. That looks like pencils as well. I can't tell what kind. I think Prismas, based on those deep pigments. So there's a whip. And that brings us back to this whip. So that is everything in Miniature Enchanted Forest. So that brings us to 3 whips and 5 completed. Now the cool thing is that in my chart, in my computer, I can punch these numbers in and it will tell me the percent of the percentage of the book that is complete, which is really cool. I did get the basic template from Amy Ward Art. Love her. She is an inspiration to me and many others, so I highly recommend checking her out if you have not. I will obviously tag her in this, so make sure you check her out. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one that I have is the Joanna Basford 2023 calendar. Now it's in French because it really doesn't matter. I wasn't going to use it as a calendar anyway. I just wanted another backup for doing some coloring in and testing out in. So, oh, I guess we're going to have to count this one too, right? All right, let's go. Okay, so technically we have 56 pages in here, and I only have, I know for a fact, I only have 1 whip in here. And that's this guy here. I was testing out, I think it was the Color pencils when I first got them. I only have a 72 set of colors, but I was testing them out on this page. So still definitely colorable, definitely a whip, definitely could be done. So we will count that. 1 whip. And we will call this a soft. All right, and finally, we have Joanna Basford's Small Victories, which is definitely my favorite mini book of hers, although I haven't done as much in it as you would think. I thought when I got this, I was gonna tear through it like crazy and just get it done, but that has not happened, so. Okay, let's count them up. Not counting the color test pages. Okay, so there's 76 in this one. Now let's have a look through and see what I've done. So here's the first one. And that's a beautiful one. I absolutely love the way it turned out. It's strange that I decided to go with that warm background as compared to the foreground, but I think it kind of works. It kind of sets off the foreground a little bit. Lots of glitter, lots of sparkle, as you can see. I'm not going to go into great detail about each of these pictures because that's what completed pages videos are for. This is more of an inventory. So, of course, if any comments pop into my head, I will say them because, I mean, we're here. We may as well, right? But this one I did last year for Spacember. Super cute. I did each of these as a separate video with different materials. So that was fun. I don't need this on there anymore. That was to market for Spacember. As you can see, the Crayola Super Tips bled through a little bit. I added water to them, so. And here's one that was a buddy with my friend Kiara. Lots of shine. I've marked a few for autumn, as you can see, with those orange tags. Here's another buddy with my friend Starseed. With a really nice kind of earthy tone, pink, vibrant. Here's a whip. Got to get back to that. Did this one with my friends Mandy and Juliet. Lots of glitter to try and cover up that background that I'm not super proud of. And I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Okay, so that leaves us with, oh, and we had 0 here. So we have 1 whip and 5 completed. So that's nice. All right, let's move on. So the next one I'm going to do is Hannah Lynn's Sweet and Simple Whimsy Girls. Okay, and this is obviously a soft cover, little pocket-sized book here. And there's 50 pages. Are these? Yeah, they're single, so they're not doubles, which is great. That makes it nice and easy for me. 50 pages, and let's have a look and see. I don't think I have any whips in here. I think I just have completed pages. So there's one. It's nice, lots of glitter on there and shine. Here's another springy one. Did this one last year for Spacember as well. Pretty happy with it. I like the green skin, that was fun. And then did this one kind of as a hair tutorial. I'm not sure if I love what I did by putting the orange acrylic pen over top of the black lines. I could have done that better, I think. But live and learn. Lots of glossy accents and Jelly Roll glaze on there, as you can see, for the eyes and lips. And I did this one. There's a nice springy one. I did this one not too long ago. I remember doing it. Don't know exactly when, but I guess with these ones I could stamp them because they've got that room down at the bottom to stamp. I should. one I would like to do for next month, hopefully, which is October, in case I don't know when I'm going to get these out, but okay. So I have no whips, but I have 6 pages done in there. Next, we have another Hannah Lynn, and that's Enchanted Faces. I feel like I'm missing a book here, am I? I feel like I'm missing a book. Am I crazy? I am definitely missing a book. Hold on. I am missing a book. I was like, wait a second, I have 3 of these. Good thing I remembered. All right. So this one is Enchanted Faces. And it's 50 individual pages. So that's good. Again, thank you, Hannah, for making this easy on me. Let's see what we got. That one marked for Space Timber. That would be a good one. Just did this one, I think, last year for the autumn. Unmark that. This one last winter. Lots of that Winsor & Newton white ink splattered on there. Turned out pretty good. Looked really snowy. That one was cute. A nice spring color palette. And there's a cute one. I don't remember when I did this one, but I know I did it. And there's another fun one, really glittery hair. Kind of hard to see, but okay, so that's Enchanted Faces. And that leaves us with 0 whips, which is great, and 5 completed. And then my third is Fantasy Faces, Line Art, and Grayscale. Now, I'm torn with this one because it does technically have duplicates, but the duplicates are Grayscale and Line Art. So even though you're doing it twice, it's technically 2 different pages. So I think I'm going to say that it's 50. I'm going to say that it's 50 just because of that, because I could do them twice and I wouldn't be super bored by doing it twice because of the difference in the way they're drawn. So okay, and this is obviously soft cover. Let's have a look. Yeah, I did this one obviously with Graby alcohol markers. Sadness. But it turned out good, so that's something, I suppose. Little Alice in Wonderland themed one there. This one's a whip. I didn't like the way it was turning out, but I think it's quite salvageable. I just haven't gotten back to it, so. Did this one. I think this was my first Hannah Lynn that I ever did, if I'm not mistaken. And I really like the way it turned out. Or maybe this was the first one. It was either this one or that last one that I just showed you. I want to do this one this fall. Could even wait till November because it's nondescript, but... And then this mermaid. Made her look really Ariel-esque, right? But hey, nothing wrong with that, if that's what inspires you, right? Okay, so we have 1 whip and 4 completed. So that's good. Next, we are moving on to Vasal Seiko's Reptiloids. How do we say that again? I think it's Vasal Seiko. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this is Reptiloids number 1. And how many are in this? I think it's 32. Yes, 32. I love these little books. At first I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't really know how to work them out. But now I think I've kind of got the hang of them. I'm going to try to do more in them. I often forget about my minis because they're up on the shelf. This is why I'm trying to do a little bit more in the way of like random selections so that it kind of forces me to go looking for books. Did this one not too long ago. I think I did it entirely in Color pencils, if I'm not mistaken. This is a cute little book though. I like that one. These are so small, I doubt I'll ever have whips in here because they're pretty easy to get done. All right, so that's it. We've got 3 completed, 0 whips. So that's good. Next up, we have the same author, but we've got the 2nd edition. I think it's also got the 32. Yeah, same. So we've got this one, which I did entirely in Ohuhu water-based markers, just to see if I could. It was just an experiment. I think it might also be a video up on the channel, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a color and chat. This one was done in pencil. I think Artex and Prismacolor, if I remember correctly. Is that it? That's all in there, just the 2 in Reptiloids 2. So 0 whips, but 2 completed. And finally, I have Bruit de Pois. This is brand new to me. I just got it. It was on such a great price on Amazon that I just couldn't resist. So I grabbed it. Like there was no shipping. There was nothing. Like normally any of these art therapy books are really hard to get here. You have to actually go through Lyrica or Amazon France. But this one was just on Amazon randomly. So, all right, let's do it. How many, does it say how many illustrations there are? No, probably not. Okay, I'm gonna count. Let's do it. 111. Wow. That is pretty cool. 111 pages in. And of course, this one is untouched, so it's a 0, 0. I'm really excited to get into this one this fall. It's got so many nice fall ones in it. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so awesome. All right, so that is all of my minis. Well and truly counted, and that's very exciting. Hopefully I don't come across any more that I forgot about. But anyways, I will see you in the next one.